You woke up with a pounding headache. The room was too bright and unfamiliar. You groaned, rubbing your temples, trying to remember where you were. The bed felt too soft and the faint smell of cologne stayed in the air. When you opened your eyes, your heart sank. This wasn't your room. Your clothes were scattered on the floor. You looked down and froze, realizing you weren't wearing anything under the blanket. Panic hit you like a wave. No, this can't be happening. You whispered under your breath as you gulped hard. You turned your head and your stomach dropped. Jungkook was lying next to you, asleep. His face looked peaceful. Memories of last night came rushing back. Laughing, arguing, drinking too much and then. Back then he was the leather jacket wearing, rule breaking bad boy who made your life as class president a living hell. Always late, always causing trouble, always making you look bad, and yet here you were sneaking out of his bed. You tiptoed towards the door, clutching your heels in one hand when his voice stopped you cold. Running away already? Didn't even say goodbye. I'm hurt. You froze slowly. You turned to see him sitting up, his hair messy from sleep, his tattoos on full display as he leaned back against the headboard. Face burned with embarrassment, but he quickly covered it with anger. Goodbye? Are you serious right now? This, whatever this was, never happened, got it? Jungkook raised an eyebrow, his smirk growing. Never happened? That's not what you were saying last night. You clenched your fist, wishing you could disappear. I was drunk, obviously. I wasn't thinking straight. Clearly, otherwise you wouldn't have been all over me, he said with a grin while you threw your shoe at him, and he caught it effortlessly laughing. Shut up, Jungkook, I mean it. Don't tell anyone about this. Relax, princess. Your secret's safe with me. That nickname, princess, made your blood boil. He used to call you that in high school just to get under your skin. I swear, if you so much as hint at this. What, you'll yell at me like you did in homeroom? Threaten to write me up? He said, cutting you off. You glared at him, furious that he was making light of this. Without another word, you stormed out, slamming the door behind you. You came back home and dropped yourself onto the couch, feeling a bit scared and overwhelmed by what happened. Your phone buzzed, but you ignored it, burying your face in your hands. What the hell was I thinking? With Jungkook of all people. Phone buzzed again. Finally, you grabbed it, seeing a text from an unknown number. You can pretend it didn't happen, but you can't erase the truth, princess. See you around. Your fingers trembled as you stared at the message. Little did you know this was just the beginning of something far more complicated. You and Jungkook despise each other since high school. He was the classic bad boy who thrived on breaking the rules, while you were the perfectionist class president determined to keep orders. Your clashes were legendary, with arguments that often turned into school gossip. Even after graduation, you thought you were free of him forever, until a chance reunion changed everything. Years later, at a friend's party, you bumped into him again. He was still the same cocky Jungkook, and all those old feelings of annoyance came rushing back after a few too many drinks. One thing led to another, and you woke up next to him horrified. Promised yourself to forget about it and never talk to him again. Weeks passed and you didn't see Jungkook after that night. Life again became normal, but obviously what happened between the two of you can't be forgotten. It wasn't just the hate, it was the emotions you both had hidden behind those bickerings and arguments. Both started liking each other, but no one was ready to accept. Everything got normal, like how it was before he came in your life. But weeks later, your life took a turn. You found out you're pregnant, shocked and scared. You kept it to yourself at first, unsure of what to do. You debated whether to tell Jungkook, afraid he'll laugh it off or act like he doesn't care. Later that day, you were sitting at your kitchen table staring at your phone. Should I tell him? What would he say? Would he care? After hours of overthinking, you dialed his number. The phone rang, and just as you were about to hang up, his deep voice answered. Your heart dropped, you swallowed and spoke. Hello? Jungkook, it's me. You said, your voice was shaking. What's up? Didn't think I would hear from you again. Can we meet? I need to talk to you. You said quickly, not trusting yourself to explain over the phone. Is this about the party? He asked. His tone was light but curious. Just meet me at the cafe near the park in an hour, please. Jungkook was taking it lightly, but when you said please, he knew something was serious because you can never say that word while talking to him. You ended the call taking a deep breath but shaky breath. Your palms were sweaty. This was tough, but you decided to tell him before taking any other step. An hour later, you sat across from him at a small table. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, looking as relaxed as ever. So what's so important that you couldn't just wait? He asked, raising an eyebrow. You took a deep breath, your hands clutching your cup of tea. I'm pregnant, you said, your voice trembled but loud enough for him to hear clearly. For a moment his expression didn't change, as if the word hadn't fully sunk in. Then he leaned forward, elbow on the table. It's mine, he said confidently, not even phrasing it as a question. His certainty caught you off guard. You're not even going to ask? You know, I just got out of a relationship, Jungkook. So, I know it's mine. I don't need to ask. That night, I remember everything. Your cheeks burned at the memory, but his unshaken belief left you speechless. You had expected doubts, accusations, or at least hesitation. Instead, his certainty made your chest tighten. Gulping, you finally managed to speak. Good that you remember. I just wanted to let you know before. It was hard for you to finish the sentence. Jungkook raised an eyebrow as his expression turned serious. Before what? Are you planning to get rid of it? His voice was low but laced with anger, each word cutting through the air like a knife. You avoid his gaze, staring at the table instead. It's the best option for both of us. We are not together, Jungkook. We never were. We have hated each other since high school, so how are we supposed to? Stop. He interrupted sharply, his tone rose. Don't you dare make this decision without me. You snapped her hand up, meeting his furious eyes. Why do you care? We don't even like each other. This isn't how it's supposed to be. His expression darkened, and before you could say more, he leaned across the table, closing the distance between you. You think I don't care? You think I've spent all these years hating you? He froze, blinking in shock. What are you talking about? Jungkook scoffed, running a hand through his hair as he sat back. God, you really don't get it, do you? I never hated you, Ryan. I couldn't, not then, not now. Your breath hitched as his words hit you like a tidal wave. But we fought all the time. You made my life miserable. And you made mine unbearable. But you also made it impossible for me to look at anyone else. You were the only person who ever saw me for who I really was, even when it pissed you off. You got under my skin and I let you because I wanted you there. Your cheeks burned while your heart pounded so loudly you were sure he could hear it. Jungkook, I loved you, okay? He admitted. His voice was raw and vulnerable in a way you had never heard before. Back then, when you had yelled at me in front of the whole class, I loved it. You were paying attention to me and that was enough. And then that night, you told me everything. How you hated that you couldn't stop thinking about me. How much it hurt you to feel that way. And now here you are trying to act like none of this matters. Your mouth fell open, stunned. What? Don't lie to me, Ryan. You might have hated the way you felt, but you never hated me. The room seemed to spin around you as his confession settled in. You wanted to argue, to deny it, but the words wouldn't come. And now you want to take the easy way out, but I won't let you. That's my child too. And I'll fight for them. I'll fight for us if I have to. Tears welled up in your eyes as his words broke down every wall you had built. Why are you doing this? Your voice came out in a shaky whisper, because I never stopped loving you, and I'm not losing you now, not you, not our baby. So stop pretending you don't feel the same, Vian. I'm done hiding. Your chest tightened as you stared at him, the years of unresolved feelings and buried emotions crashing down all at once. You hated him for being right, but more than that, you hated yourself for ever believing you could let him go. You took a deep breath, your voice was unsteady. I don't know how to do this, Jungkook. Everything about us has always been so messy, so difficult. He chuckled softly, though it didn't hold much humor. Life is messy, Vian. Love is messy. But I don't care. I care about you and now this baby. Tears filled your eyes as a steady voice broke through your fear. You make it sound so easy, you whispered. It's not easy, he said, his tone serious as he reached out to hold your hand. But it's worth it. You are worth it, and I'm not going anywhere. The warmth of his hand on yours made you feel a little braver. You looked up at him, searching for any doubt in his face, but there wasn't any. You're really serious? You asked softly, as serious as I've ever been. He replied without a second hesitation. We'll figure this out together. No more pretending, no more running away. Your chest tightened as a tear slid down your cheek. I don't want to do this alone. You won't, he said firmly, his thumb brushing against your hand. Not for a single second. For the first time you believed him. The fear and walls you had built around yourself slowly began to crumble. I never hated you. You confessed before you could stop yourself. Jungkook smiled softly. His eyes were warm. I know. And you hesitated. The words caught in your throat, but Jungkook's steady gaze gave you the strength to continue. I think I've always loved you too. I just don't know how to admit it. His smile grew and he let out a soft breath. Took you long enough, he said teasingly, though his voice was filled with warmth. You let out a shaky laugh, wiping your tears. You're so frustrating. And you're stuck with me, he replied with a grin. He leaned forward, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. For the first time you felt a small spark of hope. Things wouldn't be easy and you had a lot to figure out. But as Jungkook wrapped his arms around you, holding you close, you knew one thing for sure. You wouldn't have to face it alone.